Hey guys, I wanted to go over the patch notes today. Put in my notice at my job. I'm going to be moving soon and streaming a lot more, as well as making content creation and giving more devotion to this that I think it is well deserved of. I'm going to give that a few months and go from there, but I don't want to go too much into my own stuff. If you're here just for the patch notes, we'll get into that. At the end of the video, I'll just kind of talk a little bit about stuff going on with the channel. There is going to be a patch tomorrow at 10:00 Moscow time. We're going to go through this. I might skip some of these because it's probably not going to be too relevant. So optimizations. I'm not going to read through all of this except for probably this one. Improve the speed of loading into a raid. And this one added optimizations for physics and CPU time for processing light source visibility. Both of these things, if you're somebody who's played on maps that have a lot of the dynamic light changes. So if you ever played on like Factory, for example, and you notice how the map runs beautifully, and then you go play on Woods, and it's a bright day out, or there's a lot of clouds moving, and all of a sudden everything just starts getting real clunky and real weird. This hopefully is going to fix that. Not everybody has an NVIDIA card, but DLSS is a huge addition for those who do have rigs and cards that can use this, as it's going to drastically improve performance for a lot of people. Functionality of the NVIDIA DLSS. They're saying just been added to the game. DLSS is developed to increase frame rate during high GPU usage. The game already runs on your PC at a high frame rate, then your graphics card frame rendering time may be faster than the DLSS execution time. In this case, DLSS is not needed because it will not increase the frame rate. However, if the game is heavy on the graphics card, FPS is below 60 FPS, then DLSS will provide an optimal performance boost. In this case, you can increase your graphic settings to get the most out of DLSS. And right here, they're going to go through it, right? DLSS only works with NVIDIA graphics cards with RTX technology. It also says that DLSS is working only with NVIDIA graphics cards with RTX technology. So if you're somebody who doesn't have an NVIDIA graphics card or doesn't have one that is RTX capable, if you have a Windows computer, right, we're just going to type in system, and we're going to click system information. We're going to come down to components, and we're going to click on display. And then right here, you should be able to see what card you have. And if you don't know if this is RTX capable or not, you would take this card, right? And you could just go to Google and ask, is this an RTX card? That's all you need to do. Functionality. This one is one I'm very excited about because he talked about it in a devcast, and I was very anxious to see if this was going to be added in. Auxiliary tools used in some crafting recipes will return back to stash after production completion. So for those of you who don't know, you can make broken LCD screens, for example, by taking a screwdriver and 4 working LCD screens, and then you get 4 broken LCD screens, which makes sense. You took a screwdriver and broke 4 LCDs. But what about the screwdriver? If I'm breaking a screwdriver, breaking 4 LCDs, that doesn't make sense. And so this is going to add it's going to really change up the value, I think, of tools in the game. The next big one that's going to be, I think, throwing a lot of people off is they added weapon and armor repair kits. So we're going to read off from here. These kits can be found in a raid, but it can only be used while not in a raid. The effectiveness of repair kits is affected by the weapon maintenance and intelligence skills. It is my understanding that the weapon maintenance skill has been broken since the beginning of the patch. I got mine to level 4. I think a lot of people got theirs right around that level. They shut it off almost immediately from being able to be leveled up at all. My guess is because it's probably this. I thought it was bugged and it was just going to cause an issue, but I think it's probably because they had it tied into this. I'm upset that you can't fix guns in raid. I think that'll probably be coming, and they're probably going to do animations with it, I hope, because that'd be really, really cool if you could do this in raid. It just takes a long time. I don't mind if it takes me 5 minutes and the gun can't be used at all while it's in this repair state, but it'd be really cool if you could do this in raid. But for right now, it is what it is. And if you have not seen how these repair kits work, they're effectively going to be the best possible option to repair something. So right now, if you repair with Prapper or Mechanic, your weapon doesn't get as repaired as it should. We got the revolver shotgun. Now we're getting revolver pistols. This is really cool. We don't have a speed loader yet. That is something they said was going to be coming. So expect these guns to load, I believe, really, really slow. This is the first time we're getting 357 in game, which is super awesome. Because it's a fun round. So in the future, they're going to add 2 more versions of the Chiappa Rhino. 40 SW. I don't know what SW and ITA mean. My gun knowledge when it comes to bullets on this level are very low. So we're getting revolver mastering, which makes sense. Improved rogue AI to enhance their teamwork interactions. This A lot of people are going to be pissed about this because some people still have trouble with rogues. I get it. The easiest way to farm them still is to cheese them. Rogues have such a great potential, and I love the fact that they're going to enhance, like they're going to have teamwork and coordination, because right now you can just kind of like slowly pick your way through, and if you do that, it's really easy to just, like I said, cheese farm them. They should be this cool, awesome reaction-based work where teams interact with each other, because they're all supposed to be communicating with each other. They have radios. You know, they should bring fire to bear when they start seeing people go down, when they start not hearing outpost check-in. You know, their patrols should work better together. And this, to me, I'm hoping it's the patrols working with each other and it's not just a single patrol being that much more deadly. Because right now, a single patrol to take on is actually pretty deadly and pretty nasty. I think it's a lot of fun. I think rogues are a lot of fun. It's dealing with people while dealing with rogues is a bit of a problem. Reworked the spawn mechanics for scavs in order to exclude spawns near players and inside objects. Additionally, it's aimed to remove the ability to spawn at scav or rogue sniper positions as player scavs. Okay, so that's cool. There has been a bug in the game for a while where you could randomly spawn in as a sniper scav. Wouldn't necessarily have a sniper rifle when you do this. I didn't realize you could also spawn as a rogue sniper. That's kind of cool. But there's no way to get off these. So imagine you get stuck on top of the silo on customs, right? You're way up. You can't do anything. I like this. I really like this. I think it's gonna fix a lot of things with player scavving right now. Like, you get into a raid and you hear gunshots going off like 2 feet from you, and you're like, all right, there's a fight with a player going on. Guess I'm in it. Some people as player scavs might look at that as a bonus. I think it's kind of crappy that you spawn in potentially where somebody just cleared through maybe 5 seconds ago. I haven't been spawned inside an object in probably 3 wipes, but it's good to know that that is hopefully finally fixed. The only map I was ever spawning inside objects for was Interchange 2, if I remember correctly. Added the ability to click the next button on the PMC USEC Bear faction selection screen before the models are fully loaded. Updated the sounds of pouch interaction for several weapon and magazine types. That's awesome. I love new sounds, and I love when they have all the little sounds going on, because it can be, yeah, I hear a person, but I want to hear what they're doing, right? And if you can hear the difference between meds and food and drinking and all that stuff, and now we got different sounds for pouch interactions. Oh, the game's gonna get cool because you can start IDing people before seeing them. And the more and more different noise types we get, the harder that becomes to translate, which means when you translate it right and you get it right and you understand what the person is doing properly. Rework the stats of the Endurance Elite level skill. Increase breathe recovery speed by 50% was 100. Increase stamina by 20% was 25%. I agree with this. Max endurance, there's a reason I pushed this first. The ability to just keep moving, and the breath recovery speed one, exactly. Especially. Yes, I have no idea. Like, the ability to constantly keep aiming down sight is just insane. Oh, I'm reading it before I added the ability to sort tasks by locations in the quest menu. I love you, BSG. I love you so much for this, because this has been so hard, because you can do it once you're in raid. It'll automatically sort everything to the top that you can do in that raid in theory. But to be able to do this this is good. I like this. I like this a lot because it'll help groups planning to try to work together. Rework the scav behavior mechanics on factory while players are fighting Tagilla. I'm very happy for that. That's added inertia for bots when accelerating, decelerating. Added speed settings for bots during stationary turning and running. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Inertia on bots. Guys, this is going to make scavs so much easier to fight, especially Killa, by the way. Bots will no longer shoot while switching stance. For example, when trying to go prone or stand up, I've been killed by so many bots. And I'm like, oh, they changed their stance. I would have hit them in the head, but they go to the stupid crouch, or they go to the stupid prone right away, but they shoot midway through, and they're blocked on right to your heads, especially the shotgun scavs. Added the ability to replace an operational task in the trader quest menu. The replace task will be considered failed. The cost of each subsequent replacement will increase until the task completion's timer runs out. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So you can keep re-rolling the tasks. Okay. I don't know how much I'm going to do this. I'm going to probably play with it a little bit, but you do lose trader rep by doing it, and that's kind of hard to get back without then doing the operational tasks. So I'm going to think about that. Like, I like that they added this feature. I like it's there as an option. I don't know generally with my playstyles, any of my playstyles, that I would be re-rolling tasks. I'm going to try it out a few times. I don't know how much I would keep replacing the task. Disabled. Oh, PSG. Look at it. It's so beautiful, guys. Disabled environmental sounds like wind or rain while loading into raid. it has confused me for so long why I have to listen to rain for 4 to 5 minutes sometimes. I would just take my headset off normally, but now with the stream I leave it on. And this is going to be so nice. Oh, so nice. So nice, guys. I apologize for the heavy breeze, but that's a big one. Added a new type of operational task. Elimination while using a specific weapon class, like sniper or assault rifles. Yes, we saw this in the devcast. It's kind of cool. Added overheating ability for several weapon attachments. I don't know what this is. One of those things with localization, right? Because they're a Russian company. I don't know what they exactly mean by this. Are they saying more weapon attachments are going to affect the overheating ability? This is one of those things that I'm going to rely on somebody else heavily to look into and delve into. I don't do the weapon side of this game that well as far as attachments. The death screen now shows a player's nickname if you were killed by a player scav. All right, I kind of hate this, but I kind of like it. I get it. I get people want to be like, haha, I'm hiding behind anonymity, and part of me like to hide behind it too, but this, I don't know. I think ultimately they need it to try to report people better. Because I think a lot of people also don't realize when player scabs are players and when they're not, and they don't understand the report icon. It's a confusing. So many people are confused by it. I get it. I play with people who are, and if you're one of these people, I get it. I understand. There's a lot of Tarkov to learn, and that little report button is super weird to get used to. Added the connection type tab to the game settings section. Select HTTP in case of issues with access to the functional sections of the lobby. The setting does not affect the game performance during raid. Because Unity runs effectively like a browser, so they're effectively running like a shell, and I would assume most of the time they're running HTTPS. But I don't know why running HTTP would be useful for them. This seems, I need to think about this from a network perspective. I might actually talk to, my brother's a network engineer, so he actually kind of knows more about transfer protocol than I do. I'm more sysadmin side, so I understand the conceptual idea of it. I just don't understand the practical application of this, but I'm very curious about it. Bots are now aggressive to player scabs again if they shoot at another player scab. Okay, so that's cool. And shoot at another, by the way, it does not say shoot, it says shoot at another. This might be one of those things that's localization. I know at one point they were trying to get it so you couldn't shoot even near a person. So be careful. I'm going to probably test this out and shoot like at a buddy of mine when I'm near an AI and just see what happens when I shoot near them. I'm guessing it means when they do damage, but it'd be cool to see if they get other things working. Added the NVG enable disable sounds for other players. Oh, I didn't realize you could toggle those without being heard. This is why I talk about building good habits, which is a video I'll leave for another time, but I'm glad that I constantly was in the mindset that people would hear that. That's patch notes, guys. I'm going to be streaming a lot tomorrow, Wednesday, the 13th. Probably starting early in the morning because there's going to be a patch. I was planning on starting around like 10, 11 o'clock, but there's a patch. I might get on earlier. I'm going to be streaming Thursday as well. I recently decided to quit my job. I'm in the process of leaving that still, but I took some vacation time, the rest of my vacation time that I'm owed, and I'm going to be streaming and doing a little bit of stuff with that. And then next week, I got to finish out a few projects. And once that's completed, I will be streaming full time. We'll be moving into a new place that's a little bit cheaper. So there might be a little bit of disruption in me actually uploading content and doing all that once I figure out move dates and kind of all that stuff. My goal is to hopefully have the channel and the stream up and ready weeks launches or whenever the next wipe is. We'll see what happens, and I know large part of that's going to be on me and what kind of content I can produce, what kind of content you guys want to consume. I don't necessarily know if I want to do like reading patch notes like this too much. I'll probably do them when I read them on stream, but I figured I'd talk about that because I had a few other things to talk about. I'll put a link to my stream down below. Tomorrow and Thursday, I'm still kind of trying to do a push for Kappa a little bit. I'm stuck in a couple tasks that are just, I don't really like the high level PvP grind tasks that much, and they kind of screw with me a little bit, mainly because I like PvP to happen naturally. With that, I want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys around. I hope to see you guys in Tarkov, and be kind, share supplies.